Always in my life, I was thinking to have a career, to get the college, but I can't.
I moved here as a freshman in high school, and I remember the struggle.
For Hispanic families, higher education and higher paying jobs may be harder to achieve in the Upstate than in other parts of the country. That's just one part of an in-depth study about the Hispanic population, giving us a clearer picture of poverty in that community. This 2-year study by the Hispanic Alliance in Greenville shows at least 20% of Hispanic households here live below the federal poverty threshold. That's more than 7 points above the national average of nearly 13%.
Our Ben Hoover is taking a closer look at this situation. So Ben, the real question here is why?
So Amy, the Hispanic Alliance says we're certainly not living in a community that just doesn't care. They say Greenville is very generous in helping families meet basic needs from all different backgrounds. So we're not necessarily talking about an overwhelming lacking of resources problem here. The reason why they believe is one part generational and one part cultural.
For Carlos Camargo, achieving the perfect blend of his roasted coffee takes time, patience, and hard work.
It's amazing.
Camargo says he's living the dream, trying to open his own coffee shop, all while working full-time as an insurance agent. It's a lot of work, but he remembers when this dream seemed far off.
That was really hard. That was really hard for me, working 11 hours a day, 6 days a week, because that's all the only kind of jobs they actually accept you. And then, but there were no choices.
He was 18 when he came to America and worked for little pay in a factory with struggles and pressures of life in his new home.
Language barrier always was there, frustration and not being able to communicate with the new culture.
It's hard. For the first thing was the language.
Barriers are something Maria Estrada Ruiz and her family know well. They came to Greenville from Mexico 15 years ago for a better life.
I decided always in my family to have a better education because with education the life is better.
I think for folks who are coming in when they're older and they're just starting to work, doing 2 jobs, maybe they have a family, it can be a little more difficult, but not impossible.
Sarah Montero Barria is with the Hispanic Alliance in Greenville, a group that just wrapped up a 2-year study on the Hispanic community.
Sometimes when people think of the Hispanic community in our area, we think of Barria, but there's a large segment of the population that resides in Malden, Taylors, Simpsonville.
Montero Barria says the Hispanic community in Greenville is unique. While in states like California, you have Hispanic families that have been there for generations. Here in the Upstate, it's first-generation Hispanics, when life is the toughest.
So they prefer to stay for years and years and years in the same place and the same condition just because they don't find a way. But once you open the door for them, they will come in and ask all kind of questions.
But Montero Barria says there's hope in the next generation.
As this generation gets ready to leave Greenville County schools to start getting into higher education and the workforce, we're hoping that they will be lifting their parents with them.
That way they understand, the Hispanic culture and all the needs that they have and the reason why they're here and what they do, and also to help the community building this awesome country that we all love.
So another very interesting takeaway from this study that was just wrapped up. Again, it took 2 years to do. The study shows that 40% of respondents, actually their household income is less than $25,000 a year. However, 70% felt like they were doing well and thriving despite that low income, which is really below that federal poverty line.
Well, you think about the first generation or the first group here and how the perspective is that they came from places where things are really tough. I mean, if we think it's bad here, it can be even worse back home, right?
That's right. And Sarah, who we spoke with from the Alliance, says we're also talking about folks who have very humble, modest beginnings.
Sure.
To them, this is their one shot at giving their children a chance at a better life.
Building their dream. Thanks, Ben.
Sure.